shapes and different sounds to English.
Yeah.
How many languages have we got here? Who speaks Arabic? We've got
Speaks
Arabic. We've got Tigrinya. We've got Arabic, Assyrian. Syrian. We've got Burmese. What's your language? Kareni. Anyone else? Swahili? More languages than that? Kirundi or Philippines?
No, Kirundi.
Yeah, so we've got Tagalog, 7. So we've got like 7 plus English, 8 different languages. So your language, from when you're a baby, teaches you to make sounds, different sounds to English. So when you're learning here at the IEC, you can be very good at reading, excellent with understanding, but learning how to make the sounds, that can be difficult. Put your hand up if you find that difficult, making some of the sounds. Sometimes? Yeah. Okay, so I've got to remember to look at the camera because we're being filmed, and my son might put this on YouTube. So you can go whichever angle you think is good, miss. My son will edit it to make us look the best that we can. Okay. All right. Actually, you know what? I've got a handout that I've printed. Where is it? Yeah, I can find that. Here it is. So you can all follow along, and you can keep this in your books if you want to keep it in your books. Can anyone, maybe Bayan, if you've got, who's got good eyes, can read this from afar? Can anyone read this? Method.
A method of teaching.
It's on your paper, so you'll get it in a minute. You can have a look at it.
Hardware, reading, and
Spelling skills, nearly. Handwriting. What does it say? Have a look at your paper. A method of teaching handwriting, reading, and spelling. Okay, so that's what THRASS stands for. Teaching, handwriting, reading, and spelling skills. Okay, so that's why we are using this chart. How do I move ahead? Here we go. So I want everyone to take out their pencil, and I'll get you to fill in the blanks as we go. Okay? Marianne, do you want to read the next page for me?
THRASS is a way to help us understand the dash and the dash of the English language.
Good. So what does it say in yellow? The sounds. Okay, so the reason we use THRASS is to help us understand the sounds
And spelling.
of English and the spelling. So everyone copy that down. Remember, every time you're writing, it's a good idea to say the word that you're writing to help you remember the spelling. Sounds and the spelling of the English language. Do you guys do spelling lists in this class, spelling tests? No, not this time. That's okay. Some people do it, some people don't. Okay, let's keep going. Is everyone finished writing those 2 words? It's on the back of your pages. They're double-sided, so you might need to flip it over. So we learned this through looking at the sounds. Now I'm going to teach you a few new words today. Okay, they're a bit fancy, a bit technical, but it's good to learn them. Can anyone guess how I say this word? Phonemes. Good. So that's a fancy way of saying the sounds of the English language or any language. So we learn this through looking at the sounds or phonemes and the, what does it say? Spelling choices, which we call the graphemes. Good. So we learn this through looking at the sounds, the phonemes, and the spelling choices or the graphemes in the THRASS chart. Okay, so the THRASS chart, every single box on the THRASS chart represents a different sound or a phoneme. And I'll go through them with you in a minute and I'll show you, and we'll all learn them together, all the different sounds. Has everyone finished copying the blanks, filling in the blanks? So you might have seen this before. What is this called?
Times table.
Times tables. And what subjects do we
Maths.
use this in?
Maths.
Maths. So we have charts in lots of subjects that help us with the basics. And we're never too old to use this, are we? We never get to a point where we say, I don't need the times tables anymore, because we build a lot of maths on top of this. Miss Letitia did 3-unit high-level maths in Year 12 in high school, and she still used this. The same in Year 7. Year 12, we always come back to these basics. So what do you have to fill in there? In maths, we have a chart to help us learn our times tables. So fill in those gaps there. If you have any questions along the way, just put your hand up. Tell me if I'm going too fast, because there's a lot to go through.
No, the pace is good. It's definitely not too fast.
Great. Has anyone studied science in their language? Maybe you've seen this before.
I studied English.
With Miss Gattino?
Yes.
What is this called? Periodic table of elements. So we use this chart called the periodic table of elements in science to help us understand the basic elements, the smallest parts of science. The oxygen, the helium, hydrogen, water, yeah, combination. I'm not going to get into that. I don't know enough about science, but
It's
this is another
chemistry.
chart.
It's for chemistry.
Chemistry. Okay, we learn about the chemicals and the elements. Sorry, was someone still writing? You might have to copy up your friend. And this one we all know. What's this called? The alphabet chart. So normally when you come to learn the English language, this is the chart that most teachers will use to say, what's this letter? A, B, C, D. Does everyone know the song? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Very good. We have them up there. That's wonderful. And it's very important that we know the alphabet. The alphabet is how many different letters? Does anyone know how many different letters are in the alphabet?
26.
26. Very good. And you'll notice on this side of your THRASS chart, you have the alphabet up the top. So these are just the letter names. Okay? So we just use the alphabet chart to learn the letter names. This does not teach us all the different sounds that the letters can make. For example, what is this word here? A, like in apple. But here, what's this? Does anyone know what this is? A basket. So that's got an A in it as well. I might draw it up here to show you what I mean. So we've got A like in apple. What's the sound that A makes here? Good. A like in apple. But then we also have A here in this word. What's this word? Basket. So what sound does the A make there? Ah. Yeah, ah. So we've got ah, and here, there's another word here, ladybird. So we have a different sound again. A in ladybird, what sound does that make? A. So we've got and A. So one letter, depending on which word it is, can sound different ways. Okay, so the THRASS is a chart that gives us the alphabet, or the letter names, as well as the sounds that make up the English language. And what's our fancy word for sounds? Starts with PH. Phonemes. Okay, so the THRASS chart is made up of all the different phoneme boxes, all the different sounds that we have in English. Each box is a different sound, and we can see a variety of different spelling choices. So if you just, for example, let's look at the first box on this is, what do you think this side is with the alphabet? Is this the vowels or consonant side? Have a look on your yellow chart with the alphabet up the top. Do you think these sounds are consonant sounds or vowel sounds?
Wow.
You're looking at the wrong one. Have a look at this one with the alphabet up the top. Are these
Other side, Angela. Other side.
alphabet at the
Just
top? Like this. There you go.
Sorry, I
Are these are
There's
consonants?
K, ch. Are they vowels or consonants?
Consonants. Very good. So the first phoneme box or the sound box is B. Yeah?
And rapid.
That's right, because there's two different spelling choices for B in this box. We've got B like in bird, or B like in rabbit is double B. The next sound box or phoneme box is K. How many different spelling choices have we got here for K? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got K like in cat, K like in kitten, K like in duck, K like in school, or K like in queen. Yesterday was whose birthday? Queen Elizabeth, her birthday. Okay, so these spelling choices, we call them graphemes. And where you can see a little star there, that means there are some other ways of spelling that sound, which are included on this blue one, but there's not enough room to put every single grapheme on there. Okay, so this one that's been highlighted here, what's this sound or phoneme box, do you think?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. We don't use the letter name, we use the sound. So it's the S box. S like in sun, S like in dress, S like in horse, S like in city, or S like in ice. So for example, the S or the S box has 5 different ways to spell the S sound. So here I want you to copy, I might have to type that in there. I want you to write S like in sun. I'll type it in, you can copy it in.
Can you write on the board?
Yes, there's a
Oh, can you?
there's a pen.
Here we
but
are.
I don't know how to use it very well yet. This
I'll
one.
show you.
This combo.
The problem is coming back.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
Back
but
to
I
it.
haven't had much success with it, to be honest.
So you reckon I can just write on it?
No, I don't think you might need to exit the
Yeah, you might.
presentation, so it's in a.
Oh yeah?
And then at the side, I think you might have an option to use, but I don't know, Emily. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You might just be able to use
Here we
it.
are, look at that. How clever. So, S like in sun. See, even teachers learn new things every day. S like in sun. We've got double S, which is S like in dress. Very good. Oh, this is nice writing with this. Much better than the other one. What about in horse? How do we spell this in horse? Horse. How do we spell this part? We've got H or
E-S.
3 different sounds in horse. So we've got H. For the or is O-R. What about this sound? S-E. Like in horse. City. We've got it-e. 4 different sounds for city. It-e. How do I spell this in city? Have a look at the chart. C. Like in city. And ice, which is blocked out there. We've got 2 sounds, I and S in ice. So we've got I. How do I spell this in C-E? Very good. Like in ice. Very good. Wow, that was great. Like that. Let's see if we can play like that with that. So we might get back on the page. Yeah. Boom. What have I done there? Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. That's
No? Okay, there's lost
And then
of
view.
Oh no! But you can still go through. It's not in presentation.
Sorry, did everyone manage to get that all down?
I'll go around.
It's on the board anyway there with dress and horse and city.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
You've got it, you've got it. Yep. And you've got it on your chart, so you look for the sound on your chart here.
How do I get that to clicking through?
Can you see it on your chart?
Yeah.
Finish the spelling first.
Okay, so a few new different words I'm going to teach you. What's this one again? Phonemes.
Can we just get everyone to say that? Because some people are saying phonemes. Yeah, phonemes.
Phonemes. Everyone say phoneme.
Phoneme.
Can you remember what that means? I've mentioned it briefly. Can anyone remember what is a phoneme? It's okay if you can't remember because it's lots of different
Sounds.
Yes.
sound. Speech sound. Very good. And this one? Graphemes. Everyone say graphemes.
Graphemes.
Does anyone remember what graphemes mean? It's okay. I haven't really talked about it that much.
I think Sakar might remember. He's got a good memory.
Yes, to do with spelling. Very good. Spelling choices. Yeah. I might need you to click through, Miss, if this
Yes,
is not
I can
letting
do
me
that.
Yeah,
do that
see on the
anymore.
board, can you touch it still there?
Oh, yeah, there. Good. Okay, so phoneme, I want you all to write under that word phoneme, a speech sound. And in your language, you will have speech sounds or phonemes that I don't know. You'll have in Arabic, you'll have different sounds that I can't say very well. So every language has phonemes, which are speech sounds. And I was going to print these in beautiful different coloured papers for your classroom, but get there. Phoneme. I haven't got that one. So a speech sound. Phonemes are speech sounds. Okay. How many phonemes are there? 44. So we've got 26 letters, but 44 different sounds or phonemes in the English language. Okay, so there are how many consonant sounds?
20.
24 consonants, and how many vowels? 20. Do you want to write that down? 24 consonant sounds and 20 vowel sounds. So you will have learnt A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, A. That's 5. But we have lots of other ways that we can make vowel sounds depending on what word they're in. And I'll show you them soon. Good. Next word, everyone say grapheme. I want you to write there a spelling choice. So the first thing we're doing when we're listening to a word is we're breaking it into the phonemes. Okay, so let's take the word grapheme for example. Let's first of all do syllables. How many syllables in grapheme? Grapheme. 2. Grapheme. Now how many sounds or phonemes can we hear in grapheme? Good? E, 6. So this is the steps that we follow when we are trying to figure out how to spell and say a word properly. Okay, we chunk it into syllables and sounds or phonemes. Okay, so when we identify the sounds, if I just hear Miss say a word like, are you doing Vikings? I saw some books at the back. No? What's the subject you're doing at the moment? What are you looking at in English?
Poetry.
Poetry. Okay, so for example, have you looked at a haiku? Yeah. Haiku. How many syllables? Haiku. 2. How many sounds? I, oo. So now we can hear the sounds. Next step is to find the spelling choices for those sounds. So we can, when you get to know the chart, you can go easily, well not easily, but you can have a way to go, okay, we've got H like in hand, now I. There's lots of ways to spell I. So we go to the I box and look, how are we going to spell I? So we've got I like in tiger, I like in kite, I like in light. But haiku is a different language. It's a Japanese word. So it's not a common one, which means we'll probably find it here on the haiku, in the I box here. Haiku. Is it AI?
Yes. So it's
AI.
very unusual for the English language.
Yeah, so it's there. I like in bonsai, which is also a Japanese word. So then we can look at the etymology, which is another big word. Where does the word come from? Is it a Japanese word? AI might be a common way of spelling the I phoneme in Japan. Okay? So that's what that means. Irish, what's a grapheme? Good. What's a phoneme? You said it before. Speech sound. Very good. Lots of new words that you're learning. I'll have to come back and do another one. Okay, sorry about the photocopying on this next page. The colours didn't turn out very well here. Some more new words. A graph means what? What is a graph? One letter. One letter is a graph. So just another way of saying a letter. So in the alphabet we have 26 letters or 26 graphs. One letter, one sound. For example, the letter B. Next one is called a digraph. If it's not clear on your paper, you can trace over that digraph. That means two letters makes up one sound, like shh. There's lots of different digraphs on here. Oi, o, any combination of two letters that make one sound is called a digraph. Next one, what does this say? Somebody? Trigraph means three letters, one sound. For example, who knows how I would say that? I-G-H. How would I pronounce that? I-G-H. I like in light or might or sight. Hi, yeah. I-G-H. The trigraph. Last one here is quadgraph. Means four letters, one sound. Who knows how I would say that one? Ooh. Ooh. Well, or it could be it depends on the word, but in this context I was meaning ooh like in through. If we walk through the door.
Miss, we've learnt a lot of past tense, so we've been using that as or, like bought, or brought. Remember, buy, bring, brought.
Good.
Or with the AU, caught.
Yep. So the English language can be tricky. The letters can camouflage and change. They're like shapeshifters depending on the word. Because that could also say up like in enough. Okay, so this is the last slide. So this is just the words are all cut off, so it's not very helpful. But it's just to help you understand what the parts of the chart are. So here we've got the alphabet. And here we've got the b, k, ch, d. What are they? Phonemes or vowels or consonants? Consonants.
Good, Saka.
And these ones are the vowels. Good. And I'm also going to photocopy in nice coloured paper for you these words so that you can remember some of these words. See, like they've got here to help you remember? Graphs, digraphs, all of those. So I'll do that for you. Okay, so now we'll go through the sounds and I'll get you to say them nice and slowly, and then I'll put on a song that speeds it up a bit that some of you might have done. I know Miss Letitia and Miss Harriet have done it many times with me, so they'll be able to do it nice and quick. Alright, so follow along with me. We always start on this side that's got the alphabet at the top. Start with the consonants. So I'll say it and you can say it with me. Ready? The alphabet at the top. Alphabet at the top. Yep. So the way this chart works, you flip it like this. Yeah? Like that. Alright, everyone ready? So this first phoneme box is B. Everyone say it together. B.
B.
K.
K.
Ch.
Ch.
D.
D.
G.
G.
J.
J.
inside your pen there is ink. That NG sound. It's a bit hard to say. Next one. P. That's another one that's difficult. Treasure. See, the TH can be quiet or loud. Like in thumb is quiet. Like in feather is voice with your voice box. So you can feel it and you can hear it. Next one. What? Yeah. Good. Next, flip it up. We've got the vowels next. Flip it. Takes a while to get used to it. Yeah, just flip it like that. Flip girl. Ready? A. A. E. A. E. Ear. This box is called the schwa box. It's the biggest one, and this is like a squashed vowel sound. It's not short, it's not long, it's kind of squashed, like in teacher, like in collar, like in doctor, like in measure. Lots of different ways to spell it, but that schwa sound in English is very common. Many words have this schwa sound in it. I, o, oi, u, ua, or, ow, ah. You have just said every single sound in the English language. There's no sound in any word that's not on here. Every single sound in the English language is covered in this chart. So even though you might be very good at reading and writing, practicing these sounds at any level on your English language learning journey is good. It's like doing morning exercise. When you wake up, do push-ups. Anyone do push-ups? Every day? Good on you, Saka. I can see you're Miss Letitia up there, I see that hand. So doing little boring exercises every day builds skills, nothing strength. So this is very good to come back to. Do you want to hear my song? It's not mine, I didn't write it, but I love it. I sing it most days with my class, I'll sing it. It's a bit fast. Oh no, here we go. Some computers won't let me open it. Open with. Let's see if this one can work.
What did you choose when you opened with?
VLC Media Player.
The consonant phoning
No,
rap.
it's loud.
Ready?
No, we're not ready. Okay, following along. Quickly. Get your finger, and we're on the consonant spot. B like in bird. Ready? The THRASS. Say the consonant rap. Point with your finger and do a little tap. The sh, the sh, the h, the sh, the sh, the h, j, again. J, pepper. Again. Wet, yet, wet, yet, wet, yet, wet, yet, wet, yet, wet, yet. Whoa, well done. Give yourselves a little clap. You did very well. Normally the first time I do it, it was hard for me when I started too. I think you were there down in H8 when we started doing this.
Yeah.
Remember? And we were all a bit lost. So it takes a while to get used to it. So we'll flip over and do the vowels. This is even more difficult.
They're still not getting this flip thing. Guys, watch Mrs. King. It's really simple. You flip that way. Like, people are still turning it, and then they're confused, and then they turn it back. So it's just a flip that way.
A simple flip.
Okay, flip. Everyone got that? Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. That's good. So we'll go through it maybe slower again.
Was that slow?
No, just because this one's harder than the consonants because they all sound the same. So we'll do it slowly. Ready? A, A, E. I'll do it the way that she does it because she repeats it in a certain order. Okay, ready? A, A, E. A, E, ear. A, ear. Got it? It's a bit hard.
I think we need to do that one more time.
Ready?
The ear is where people are not, they're going silent.
All right, let's just go through it and we'll just say it. A, ear. Now, if you're confused, have a look at the pictures to get an idea of what it's saying. A like in ant, A like in baby, A like in baby, E like in hair, R like in car. Even if you just look at the first picture, it will help you. E like in bed, E like in me, ear like in ear. So the pictures are like clues to help us know what the phoneme is. The next big one, does anyone remember the name of this big box? The phoneme's called a schwa. So this one is everyone say This is the sound that my class has the most trouble with. When I say I walked to work, they get very confused because or and sounds the same to them. So we've been working on the box lately. I like in tiger. O like in frog. O like in nose. Oi like in coin. U like in book. Oo like in moon. Ua like in more. Mine says more. Some of yours will say lua because yours is a new one. This is old. Same sound. Lua or moa is that ua sort of sound. Next one. Or like in fork. Or like in ball. See how it's the same sound? Or like in fork, or like in ball. Same sound, different spelling choices. Ow like in cow, and up, bus. Or what's the last picture there? That you're wearing your hands in winter. Glove. So it's still that up sound. Up like in bus or up like in glove. Okay, are you ready? Don't worry if it's too fast. Just listen to it and try to follow with your fingers, okay? Miss Peters was born ready.
It's like a dance. You got to remember the steps like a dance.
Yes. She repeats some of the lines. All right, ready? So you right click on it and right click and then open with VLC Media.
With
phoneme rap. Ready?
Ready? Isaac, you should be out the front leading this, and so Ray, you are like the professionals here. THRASS, say the vowel phoneme rap. Point with your finger and do a little tap. A, again. A, R, E, ear. A, E, R, E, ear. I, O, oi. I, O, oi. Ua, or ow, ua, or ow, See? It's a bit hard. I know, it's hard. It's very hard, but that's okay. What we might do now, we might just keep having a look at the chart to get a little bit more familiarised with it. Who can put up your hand? Who can find for me the box? The sound of point to it. Show me. Hold it up. Good. Everyone find the box? How many different graphemes can we see on this? Very good. So if I wanted to spell hammer, like I'm building a house with my hammer, how would I spell the phoneme? Like in hammer. Have a look at your picture. Double M. Very good. What about the baby sheep, lamb? How would I spell like in lamb?
MB.
Very good. Can anyone think of another word that's on the chart that has MB at the end? Have a look. Thumb and numb. Very good, Irish. Excellent. Both of those words have got like in lamb. Good. Okay, stay on this side, on the consonant side. Who can find for me the sh box? Have a look. Like in Angela, can you find the sh box? Like in star. It's on the third line, somewhere along here. So Ray, where is it? Good. And how many graphemes are there? 3 plus more. Remember, the star means we do have other ways to spell it. Okay, so if I wanted to spell this word, what is this? What's this picture of?
The station.
Station. So station has a sh sound in the middle of it.
Yes.
First of all, let's thrass it out. Let's chunk it out. How many syllables in station? 2 syllables. Station. Okay, station. Now let's count how many sounds in station. So, right? Let's count the sounds or the phonemes we can hear in station. A, sh, n. 6, not 6 syllables, 6 phonemes. Yeah, put that
Irish.
I have a very bad.
Don't leave
I'm the
Mariana
same.
all day. Otherwise
Klepto.
Mariana will be tired at the end of the day and you'll be great.
Okay, so we've got 6 sounds in station. We've got a graph, 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 digraph, which is 2 sounds, 2 letters, 1 sound. Graph, graph. So what's the first graph or letter we're going to choose here? S. Like in sun. What's next? T like in tap. What's the next sound? A like in baby. Have a look at your chart. It's A like in. No, because that's app. We need A, the long vowel. A like in baby. Baby. It's in the next box. App, A. A like in baby. Now, to spell the sh sound, how are we going to spell sh? T-I. Okay, so that's how we're spelling sh in station, mention, competition. There's lots of different words that have sh spelled with T-I. Normally, we teach you sh spells, SH spells sh, but there's actually lots of different ways that we can spell sh. Okay, let's do it with our fingers together. A, sh. What's the next sound? Do I say station or station? It's a schwa, isn't it? So find the grapheme or the spelling choice in the schwa box. How am I going to spell the sound in station? The big schwa box here. What's the spelling choice for in station? Like in. The animal, it's an animal near the end. Lion, very good. Like in lion. And then what's our last phoneme? Like in net. Good. So let's use our fingers to sound it out one more time. Hang on, put your charts down, let's use our fingers. A, sh, station. Good. So then, we've got these. If you did want to do a lesson on poetry, you might want to look at a short poem, a haiku or something, and go through some words to just understand why we spell certain words certain ways. We can go through, if we had longer, we would find the different phonemes in here and put them together. But I hope that gives you a little introduction to what THRASS is and why we use it. And hopefully I can come again. We've got 3 more weeks, I think, after this. Maybe I could do a little bit
Yeah,
more.
that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, so thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Does anyone have a question for Mrs. King?
No questions?